It is more than just a house. It's a place inside somehow. Patrick lived with his partner in the Homewood, which was a house he had built. My parents had visited this very unusual modern house near Esher. They thought it was absolutely amazing. He was very particular about what he would take on. And so when they acquired this field, which they were going to hope to build a house in, they didn't dream that Patrick would agree. When he and his partner came to look at this site, he said, "This is the most wonderful site. I'd love to design a house for you." The Homewood is so different because it's a different site, but I think this one, he liked the idea of building something that would sit on the hillside.
And the brief was very much about how they wanted to live rather than what the house was going to look like, so they let him really have carte blanche.
The main thing was to have a large room that would be good for music and family and friends. It was unusual to grow up in a house like this, and also a lot of fun. Our father erected a curtain so we could do plays with our friends. Because music was so much part of our lives, it was a great place to play music together, and actually we even had friends around and had concerts on the terrace on several occasions.
For years and years and years we'd have crews to stay for Henley Royal Regatta, and somehow the house never felt too small. I think because of the garden, there was always in the summer room for everybody to eat outside, and it was always open house.
There's almost a brilliant understatement. You come down the drive and there's just the front door, which is sort of welcoming, but it doesn't give anything away. Friends would come and visit, they'd come in through the front door, and then suddenly they're just this incredible impact of all the glass looking out into this lovely garden. It was a wonderful thing to just see these little sticks that were planted by our parents. They never had a gardener, they just gradually more and more stuff was planted, and it's amazing to have seen it grown up. So it's a mature garden now. Being on chalk, you get this wonderful chance to grow winter heather, which is lovely. So it's a garden that looks lovely all year. I mean, it's a surprisingly cosy house, and partly because he designed it so cleverly with the roof. It's got an overhang, which means that in the summer it's nicely shaded, so you don't get roasted with the glass, but at the same time in the winter it's really bright. Our parents, they'd started married life in a fairly basic flat in Bermondsey. I think they never wanted to deal with wallpapering again, and so this was a low maintenance house. You know, in those days it was a bit odd to have brick walls, but actually it was brilliant. If it had been America, it wouldn't have been such an extraordinary house, but in this country, there are very few houses of that era. Patrick Gwynne's designs are very visionary and looking almost to a lifestyle I think we all like to enjoy now, which is this sort of a feeling of sort of open plan living space that is adaptable. I think it's partly his genius, his eye for line and detail, which does make it timeless. These days, you know, there's so much written about and thought about how we should live, and we should be aware of our environment, and we should be at one with the environment, and I think Patrick really got that. That's a really important thing that we need to carry forward.
It's very much influenced our way of life, actually.
It'll always be there. It's just a sort of openness and a kind of freedom almost that I think it had that effect.
The Modern House, selling thoughtfully designed homes across the UK.